Hi guys, we're going to do a little bit of a different video today. Um, kind of going off the cuff, uh, raising awareness for uh, post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, with my limited knowledge. My experience, I didn't really feel up to doing a personal video. I usually do theological videos, things like that. So this isn't really my topic of expertise or anything, but I'm just going to share my experience. And there's a couple people that have helped me understand this better, and I'm going to provide their links. Kristie Saylor on Facebook has a wealth of knowledge on this subject, post-traumatic stress disorder, as well as Chris Stewart, who's in my area, who has a post-traumatic stress group. And so I was turned on to these two people by a former friend who pointed out to me that that's probably what I was suffering when we were hanging out and whatnot. But basically, post-traumatic stress disorder, I mean, I'm going to butcher this quite a bit, as those two people are more apt to talk about this. But basically, when shell shock, the First World War, the guys coming back, 1918, coming back from the war, and the guys coming back before that, it was called shell shock. They've seen so much carnage in in battle, they were literally trembling. You could see the old footage if you go on YouTube of that, and documentaries of the First War and even the Second. And even today, I mean, they don't call it shell shock, they call it PTSD, guys in battle. And I thought that's what it was, right? I had no idea that it could affect other things. I just thought it was a battlefield thing, this post-traumatic stress. Then I learned it's not. It's more than that. A traumatic experience in your life, something very traumatic, can cause this. And basically, an old friend, she told me she had it. She walked in and found her boyfriend hung himself, right? And that sent her over the edge. And it is a real thing. I didn't know what I was experiencing until months later talking to her. After my father passed, I found my father. My mother originally found him. He lived in the next building to me. I don't really want to get into this, but for the sake of raising awareness, I will. He committed suicide. He dismembered his head pretty much, is the way he did it, with a knife. He's pretty much decapitated. And I found him like that. And right away, I began experiencing night terrors, I guess you'd call them. I would wake up in a cold sweat, and I'd be dreaming over and over that experience, like a flashback or something in my dream. And I'd wake up in a cold sweat, and it would take me about a half hour to really get my scruples back, to wake up and get out of that. It's not a fun way to wake up, and I was doing that for months. Now I still have the night terrors, but I don't remember them, and I only have them maybe once a week tops, so it's not like it was. But my father passed a little over a year ago, March 30th of 2017, so 13 months now. So and there's other symptoms as well. I've learned chronic headaches I get, and I never would get headaches at all. So yeah, like chronic headaches on my calf here, my right calf, instantly, immediately, days after my father passed, and me finding him like that in that state, you know, just blood all over the walls, splatter. Then in his bedroom, when he went in the bed, just completely, they had to cut the carpet out, the whole. It was a complete disaster. And I asked the officers later, did they ever see anything like that? Someone doing it, committing suicide that way? They said no. You know, my father was very not eating for 2 weeks, not sleeping, and so that's what happens. You know, your mind will go on severe stress, and that loss devastated all of us. Um, but reliving that and seeing that, I'll never be the same. You know, there's before and after. We all experience before and afters, they say, and that's a before and after for me. That after that, I'll never be the same. But I started developing on my calf here eczema on my right calf. I thought it was like stress related eczema. I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but chronic headaches. Went back to drinking. I had 9 months sober. Went back to drinking even after my father's funeral and everything like that. I stayed sober for a couple months. I had 9 months in total. Then I couldn't deal with the dreams anymore. So yeah, going whiskey drunk and wreak all sorts of havoc. Um, uh, and another symptom they say is avoidance, and that's something for me. I don't like being around anyone much, even family anymore. So I want to be left alone. Uh, but yeah, this is post-traumatic stress disorder, and you know me before not really having it too easy before that, you know, had my heart stopped, breathing stopped for over a minute, slipped into a coma 2 years ago. Then 2 weeks later, I was in the hospital again with pancreatitis for the fifth time due to drinking, and there for another 2 weeks. 2 week stints every time you go in. So your pancreas is ruptured, or not ruptured, is inflamed. So 2 weeks later, I'm back in with that after a coma. Right after a coma, go on the drunk. Diagnosed me with bipolar. So I never really, I lived the life. I lived a hard life of my doing. Some of it was not of my choice. Um, but then this to happen on top, and yeah, it it'll fuck you up. It'll fuck. Even though I don't have the night terrors, I mean, not a day goes by my sisters and I don't think of my father. But just you try to block certain things out, and that scenery is something you can't block out. You know, when you come in and see that, uh, it's something I have a hard time blocking out. Naturally, a pissed off person. Naturally, a lot of anger, aggression, fighting, um, and just so much anger now, even more so. Uh, but yeah, that's been my experience with it. You know, mainly the night terrors. I guess I don't know what other symptoms. I mean, who knows? You know what I don't even notice. But I just wanted to raise awareness that it hits a lot of people. But I want to put Kristie Sharp Saylor's uh, contact in there if I can, and Chris Stewart, his post-traumatic stress disorder group, outreach group, which he makes a great effort to help people here and all over the world via the internet, via the websites and Facebook. But lucky to have that here, and I should take an opportunity to talk to him some more. But that's kind of trying to think of anything else. Yeah, that's pretty much how it's been for me. But the worst thing was the night terrors. The night terrors, waking up in a cold sweat, and visualizing that for I don't know how many hours in my sleep or how long. But you wake up, you're just totally fucked. Totally fucked. I mean, fucked. 20 minutes, half hour, you just trying to drink your coffee. You're just fucked. But at least I only have them maybe once a week now, and I don't remember the dreams at all. But yeah, avoidance, they say, and yeah, I don't want to be around anyone really. Not too many, to a certain extent, yeah, but to a certain extent, no, I don't. Not too long. I don't want to be around. Yeah, I just kind of pretty much as usual, just want to get as fucked up as possible, And I never had a trouble doing that. I succeed pretty well in doing that. But that's me in a nutshell. In my experience. But yeah, I wish I could tell you more about it. But that's why I'm going to give you the links there so you can find out more about it. It's just not my area of expertise. I don't usually do videos on things like this. And on a personal matter, very private person, so to do this took a lot, but I could see Kristie doing this, opening up, and Chris and other people, so maybe one person will see this video and check out those links and get help, right? So that's the goal. Put myself out there so one person can, even if it's one person that can benefit from my embarrassing spilling my guts, which I don't like to do. But oh yeah, also talking to my psychiatrist when I had one there for the bipolar, I just go to get my scripts. I didn't like talking or spilling my guts, and he didn't really want me to anyway, just asking about the meds. But I asked him about the post-traumatic stress and the symptoms and that, and he told me, he goes, yeah, that, well, yeah. I told him about the night terrors and that, and what I seen. He said, yeah, it didn't take him too long to say, realize that. Okay, thank you.